Rudy, thank you for joining Ruction Nation. You were my plumber on a project 5 years ago.
3 years.
It was probably just over 3 years,
yeah.
right? Okay. So Rudy was the plumber, really took charge, really impressed me. Loved how he carried himself. So I thought, what better person to have on our show? So welcome to the show, Rudy.
Thank you.
And then, like we said, it's up to you. It's your story. As far back as you want to go. I think it's important because it talks about who you are and what shaped you. So
Basically, getting out of the Department of Corrections, I knew I had to make a difference in my life. And so I went to the point where I said, if I'm going to be on parole, I have to do, I'll do everybody. So I educated myself while I was in prison in criminal law, civil law, and federal law in order to get myself out and help other people. Once I got to that point, I got my freedom back. I started looking into the trade. I went on a bus. I walked to a job site and I asked the individual, can I work for you for a day and we can talk about my pay? And he said, yeah, no problem. So I worked for him for that week. He had a mechanical room with 3 boilers, glycol, hydronics. Everything was built incorrectly. So I had to take everything apart, rebuild it again. And I did it within about 2 weeks. And Dennis Medina was the state inspector. He came that day. The electrician was with me. I got to know a lot of people. And I started everything up that day that Dennis Medina showed up. And no leaks, no nothing, everything fired up perfectly. I dialed everything in. And then he took my ID. Kind of scared me because I just got out of the Department of Corrections. And he said, let me see your ID. I said, for what? I didn't have a license at the time. And he goes, let me take a picture of it. And he took a picture of it and he sent it over to Heating and Plumbing Engineers and told him, I got a guy for you that'll kick ass. He just built a mechanical room and I'm pretty sure he's going to advance your company. And so when I went, the day that I worked for the guy, he told me, I apologize. And I said, that's all right. He goes, no, I only can give you $27 an hour. I said, well, that's better than 60 cents a day. So
yeah, no kidding.
so
what year was this? What
was 2018. I got out 2017, December 28th at 1:45. I remember that day clearly.
Oh, I'm sure. And my one question I got so far is, how did you know how to do that?
What's that?
Go build that mechanical room.
I was doing in prison. I was rebuilding heat exchangers that were run off boilers, but they weren't using glycol. They were using steam. So with steam, you have to use regulator, diaphragm, and all steam gauges. When your gauges go off, it'll explain to you that there's a problem, malfunction. So you have to track it down. And you got maybe 75 to 50 pipes in there, all corresponding with gate valves, old ones. And the amount of pressure and the PSI, I would say about close to 150, and the temperature was about 650 degrees Fahrenheit, near that or closer. And so he brought me in there one day. I didn't want to work for him. I wanted to work in the kitchen and eat.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, I'll get you anything you want. He goes, they just walked me in there. And I was looking for glycol, and I didn't see it. So I knew it was ran off steam, but I didn't know it was feeding the regulator or the diaphragm. And so when I seen a white tube going down, I knew that there had to be some kind of compression. And when I walked around the corner, they had these little tiny 150-gallon, not a pancake, but just a regular air compressor. Mm-hmm. And so I said, how is that possible to keep running 2 heat exchangers without it malfunctioning? He says, we got stacks of them. They had hundreds in there. They had them stacked in a warehouse. They would just bring a brand new air compressor, hook it up to the hose and start it up and go from there. So I got ready for parole. They denied me the first time. They denied me the second time. And I was rebuilding all these heat exchangers. I would take one apart and start rebuilding it while the other one was running. And then I would rebuild that one, start that one up, and then I'll start rebuilding that one. This was at Sterling minimum restriction. They would take me over from the high yard. And that's, I learned. I've been doing it since 1985, so I'm going on 41 years now. Yeah. So. I'm almost 60. I don't feel 60, but
You definitely don't look 60.
but I got all the knowledge from trial and error, mistakes, looking at things where I don't know. When you like a trade or you like something that you do, it's either gonna give you a headache or you're gonna get intrigued. I was intrigued, and the fact that I had the freedom to walk anywhere I wanted and do anything I wanted in the Department of Corrections is because of my knowledge. And so when he took me in the room and he says, "So what do you think the problem is?" I said, "It's your diaphragm. It's not moving." And so they both looked at each other and said, "Okay, you have the job. We'll get you anything you want."
Mm-hmm.
And so I started going through and fixing everything. So when I got to parole for the fourth time, well, I was getting ready to go after the third time they denied me. He said, I asked him, I said, "Why do they keep denying me if I'm building your guys' prison?" And he says, "Believe it or not, they don't want you to go anywhere,"
Yeah.
because I was fixing everything. They even remodeled and added on to the prison system where I did all the groundwork. And he goes, "I tell you what, you fix these last two heat exchangers, these mechanical rooms, and we'll get you up for parole." He goes, "How long is it going to take you?" I said, "Shit, 2 to 3 months. I'll be done." And I did. I got it done in 2 months, and I got paroled. And that's when I met the guy, and I walked up to the job site, and he said $27 an hour, and I said, "Shit, it's better than 60 cents a day." And so when I went to Heat and Plumbing Engineers, they put me on Mapleton High School's projects. There was 4 phases, and I went over there, and I knocked it out of the park. I made them $650,000. They were working on Lake House. They were losing money because they underbidded. When they underbidded the PVC concerning the garage area. They did from the first floor to the 12th floor, not the 13th floor, because everything's mimicking each other. So they knew how to do all that mathematics concerning the finances for all that.
Is that the
When
job?
it came,
Is that the job you guys met at?
no.
No.
So when they went to the basement area, they realized that they never bidded for all the PVC, which is miles of piping that are 12 inches, 15 inches, 24 inches of PVC. You know how hard that is to glue together. You got to bevel it and everything else. These guys were leaving parts disconnected. So me and Josh Harris is a good master plumber, young kid, very knowledgeable. So when we got there, we started correcting the job. And so it was GH Phipps that had that project. And so at that time, Heat and Plumbing Engineer was filing for Chapter 11. I'm pretty sure that was going on. And so I got to the 11th floor. I got all the finish done. I got everything caught up. There was a lot of it. There's multiple different crews. This was when they were bringing in that new type of Italian piping that did hydronics as well, but it was all ran off domestic water with the heat. I don't know if you guys know about that. So it's all fusion. They're fusing 15, 16-inch pipe together. It was all Schedule 80, Schedule 40, so different types of pipe. As far as when me and this good dude right here met, was at Junior Achievement. I'd done way more projects than that. So when I got to Junior Achievement, there was an individual that was never showing up, right? It was never there. And so when they sent me over there, I had just gotten done with another project that he was doing. It was 600,000 square feet, 40 feet high. I did 4 miles of gas, 2-inch, 3 miles of polyurethane, PEX, and then I did 2 miles of PVC by myself almost. And so I had a good time there, and I finished that project because he didn't show up at that project. I'm not going to address his name. You know who I'm talking about. So when I got to that project, I finished that one, and then they called me over to go over there because the individual wasn't showing up.
I'll cut that out.
So he wasn't showing up. So every time he wasn't showing up, I went over there, and you guys told my office, just let Rudy take care of the job. And so I banged it out. I got it done quick. I had a schedule, and pretty sure, right? Even though he was behind. And I blew doors on that one, and I got that one done. And then I moved on to. I've been doing hospitals, schools, but the majority of the time I've been doing a lot of hospitals. And so
Pretty much all commercial.
yes, yeah, a
commercial
lot of
work.
geometry. So now instead of me installing, but I can do both real fast. You know that. Real good. I'm excellent brazier, welder, pipe fitter, plumber. But I like what I do. If you like it, like that old saying is, if you like what you do, you're never working.
Mhm.
But I like the math. I like all the geometry. I like doing the layout. I like teaching. When these guys start seeing, I remember I went to um, this other job in Castle Rock. These guys came from Kansas. They were on a ladder. Both of them were holding the tape up in the air to get a measurement. And you know me, I do all the geometry on the floor with the fittings and all that, and mathematics concerning subtraction, division, so on and so forth. And so once I showed them that, they learned something new. And I just thought to myself, where have these guys been at? You know what I mean?
A little easier with your feet on the ground.
Yeah, you just do all the cuts and put everything up in the air.
Right.
I mean, it's all fact on the floor, and it'll still come up the same up in the air. The only difference is going to be your elevations with your grade of quarter bubble, half bubble, you know what I mean? Just basic things. I I came a long way in a short period of time. I've been out 8 years.
Mhm.
I achieved a lot.
Did you have any trade experience prior to going? Or
Yes, I did in California, so I knew a lot about a seismic. So when it comes to seismic, that's a whole different beast because you have an inspection just for seismic. And so seismic is you have an inspector just for that. And if he doesn't like exactly what you did or you don't brown nose his ass, you're basically not going to get that inspection pass. And I don't care if your plumbing came out perfect. And so when I left California, came here, said, yeah, there is no seismic. So I was able to blow doors on everything, man. Just go with the flow.
You said you started your career in the trades in the 80s?
In the 80s, 1985, I got a 0007157 number. Correct, babe? Yeah.
Wow.
That's an old number. Look
Yeah,
at his
no kidding. So what was day one like for you? How'd you walk into
Day
it?
one was my father. He fought Korea and Vietnam, 2 wars, and so the guys that came and got me, they were Vietnam vets. Bob Spillman Plumbing out of West Covina, California. They were my mother's neighbors across the street. I told my mother I was going to get a job at fast food. She goes, now son of mine is going to be working fast food. I'm the only boy out of my family. I'm the baby of the family. She said, no, you're not working fast food. So she set everything up. 2 weeks later, they knocked on my door, offered me $5 an hour back in 1985. I said no.
Was this right after you graduated high school or went to high school?
I went to a continuation.
Sure.
They wouldn't let me in high school because I was a troublemaker back then.
Yep.
But they came to my door, and my mom made it clear, you're taking that job. She grabbed me by my ear, literally. She's a Spaniard lady, so she's from Spain. Anyways, so I took the job. The first day I ran a rigid 300. I loved it. It was dangerous, a little bit scary to run a rigid 300 for your first time. You never knew. They walked me through it. They jumped on the joist. Back then, they used to knot the joists and put the gas pipes on the floor out of the ceiling, and you would lay it in there. And so they had all the prefabs that gave me all the numbers, end to center, center to end, and I grasped it right away. So I knew what I liked. And the day I came home, my mom goes, what do you think? I said, oh, I love it.
Day one, you were in.
I was hooked.
That's awesome.
And then they took me to down to Newport Beach to do a doctor's house. Oh, yeah. Then I started realizing we're driving from city to city everywhere. Back then, no GPS. You pull out a big, gigantic map. You put it on the hood of the car, and you figure out where you're going.
Mm.
And, yeah, I fell in love with it pretty much.
With you being in the industry for as long as you have, I mean, I'm sure you've seen a dramatic change from
Oh, my.
from the 80s to 2020s.
Yes.
You know?
So the 80s to me were two cases of beer on the job site on Friday.
After you guys were done, right?
After we were done working, and if you had a problem with anybody, you go balls to the walls right there, toe to toe, and you shake hands after. And that's pretty much how it went down. Nowadays, you got H&R, if you have a disagreement, you can't acknowledge your disagreement. You have to keep your verbal caution in check. To me, the advancement with lasers, remember plumb bobs, using strings for all your groundwork, grid lines, everything's technologies have changed everything to where the newer generation can Google everything, even if they don't know about plumbing, they can Google it and they can advance themselves immediately just by looking and then reading and then getting information, especially with artificial intelligence. Am I correct?
So do you think it's more of a blessing or a curse?
I think it's more of a blessing.
with the
but
technology.
I think morals and values are different from the time when I started. A lot of guys actually, I believe from what I've seen, I don't know, I've been doing the trade for so long. So when a lot of guys want to learn from you or they respect you because I don't want anybody to respect me because or be afraid of me because I've been in prison for what I've been and how long. I want them to respect me for what my knowledge is and what I can teach them. And so
That's your legacy that you want to leave, how you taught someone else or
Yeah.
how you carried yourself.
yeah, I taught a lot of guys. And so
Yeah.
I believe that lasers, dot lasers, laptops, iPads, phone technology was difficult for me at first, and then I just caught on quick. It's just common sense and logic. An arrow always shows you which way to go and which way to go backwards or forward to
Right.
find your information. But I think technology did advance everything for it's easier for the newer generations, I believe. Open book for all your tests, everything else. And I mean, it's common knowledge. And so I truly believe that.
Over the years, what have you seen in just the labor pool for skilled trades in general?
So I would have to say that skilled, there's a lot of good plumbers, pipe fitters, welders out there. I believe there's a lot of them. And I do believe that the trades that we're doing right now, I'll take for instance, I'll use this for an example. When I went to do Amazon, I did PSI, which is Transair, 285 PSI that line can hold. It's for a robot arm, similar to this, where it rotates, it pushes an arm, and then the vacuum line would be 100 PSI pulling to pick up packages. So when I was doing that, all the people were looking at me. I was doing it first time for the company I worked for. I don't want to announce the company. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine.
Because it pissed me off. Anyways,
Mhm.
so I went out there. They put a green guy out there, and they told me go babysit him because he's never been a foreman. He's going to be nervous. So walk him through, and so I did. Anyways, his advancement wasn't that great, but he's a great guy, good kid. And he ordered a lot of material, so did the office. And so they were going to cut into PSI line that was already existing when they first built Amazon out in Colorado Springs. And so I started looking at the fittings and nothing corresponded. And I was like, so this is your 4-inch line for a 3 1/4 line that you're going to cut into. I didn't tell him that because he didn't want to take the time to listen to what I had to say. I said, okay. So I took one of the other helpers. I went over there and I used a measurement tape and I took pictures of that and I showed them the fittings that we're going to use. They said, thank you for catching that, because if they would have cut into that line, they would have shut down Amazon. They wouldn't have had that fitting there because it's only made in Chicago. They would have been screwed. You know how much they would have been sued. They would have lost their company.
What about Amazon Prime though? Same day delivery. Yeah, the
Well,
connection.
Yeah,
Man,
but
that would have
it
been
depending on transit air to get that product there.
Sure.
that would have been a nightmare.
It would have
to
been a
shut
nightmare.
down
That'd have been a
Amazon
massive
So
warehouse.
problem.
so the
Massive
guy
problem.
calls me up, field operations says, "Hey man, thank you for catching that." He goes, "Shit, we wouldn't have caught that. We would have been screwed." And so when you're in a position like that, you have to overlook everything. Just like when you're doing, there's another thing that they did. The engineer is in the building. He didn't walk the job site. He put all my piping at 10'2", right? So I started walking through. I know, just like you guys know, 10'2". You can look up and see 10'2".
You can feel it.
Exactly. So I'm starting to look. And everybody's, "What are you looking at?" I said, "Walk with me down this way. Pull your tape up." So I go to the GC. I said, "Did the engineer ever walk the job?" He goes, "No." I said, "You guys put my piping at 10'2"? And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "Look, all these are at 10'2". He goes, "Oh, shit." He goes, "Maybe we could use 45s." And I said, "You can't do that because a vacuum line, you'll decrease the vacuum pressure pulling by doing loops everywhere.
Yeah, bend.
It has to be straight." And they argued with it. So they said, my company that I work for offered, they told me it'll be $300,000 more. So they made their changes real quick. You know what I mean? But things like that, that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter how advanced the technology can take you or help you. These are things that if you don't see them, you can screw up bad.
So going back to the guy that was about to cut into that pipe.
No, I caught everything way before.
Well,
Because I'm going through the material and I'm looking at everything.
what's your advice to that guy that's green? You know, what did you do that he wasn't doing? Was it just slowing down?
So I'll take, for instance, your guys' experience, which is great. You will look at something, and if you're looking for the same fittings that look the same diameter as that pipe, and you don't see it, and you're getting ready to cut, you had everything scheduled to shut down Amazon, to cut into that pipe, to shut all the machinery down. And you don't have the proper fittings there. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a mistake before it happens. That's what my job is supposed to be. That's what your job is, and that's what your job is. He didn't care. I was there babysitting him, but I was doing his job. So I did his job more than I was supposed to. But good thing I caught that, like I said, because I would have looked like an idiot. Hey, you got 40 years experience. How come you didn't catch it? I caught it. That's the difference.
Yeah, such a simple thing could have been so disastrous.
Well, they said they had everything there, and they were arguing with me. I took all the fittings down to the office and I showed them. They said, "Oh shit, yeah, you're right, man." Then they didn't know how to hook up the PSIs to the polyurethane hoses that go to the robots, and so we got that squared away. There was a lot of things I helped them out with, and it was a great experience for me. I'm kind of upset with them, but I can let things go and move on. I'm ready to go take charge wherever else I never really worked under anybody, huh? I've always just got into the job site and got a feel of everything. It'll take me like 2 or 3 days to walk around, see everything, and then I'll take off. But I think the younger generation, they do have a great abilities for technology. Technology is going to take them faster, quicker, give them more knowledge. They can sit there and Google everything and get all that information the day before. Sit at your plans, watch everything, have yourself prepared for any kind of question that your workers are going to come up and ask you. Be knowledgeable. There's stuff like that.
Is there anything that the younger guys can do outside of just Googling or having repetition on the job? Is there something extra that they could be doing?
My belief is that their tools, always have your hand tools. Never be afraid to ask any questions. If you seem that you're lost and you got to ask 3 or 4 times because you have memory loss or something to that effect, still ask, because if you screw up thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of man hours and material, because you put it at the wrong elevation, you use the wrong fittings, you're going to lose your job.
So there's no dumb question.
There is no dumb question, no.
Yeah.
I would not look at any individual coming up to me asking me something, not unless he was high on drugs, and I would say, okay, it's time for you to go home because you're asking me some stupid questions.
Mm.
And I'm pretty sure you guys would be the same. You'll see it right out the back, and you say, nah, I can't have you here.
Right.
And so, yeah.
Do you think the younger generation, the green guys coming in, is it like a intimidation thing that they don't want to ask the questions, or is it just kind of a pride thing? They don't want to look dumb in front of the more experienced?
I think I do think that there is a bit of pride asking questions. They don't like to be, I don't think any of us like somebody standing behind you watching you work. Okay, that's a disrespect. Give them that freedom to make a mistake and come back, but don't yell at them. Address it to them in a calm manner and say, look, this is what you did wrong. Looks good, but you're going to have to redo it. And here's why. And so that's the way you should explain it to everybody.
It's really the only way to actually learn is by hopefully it's not too big of a mistake, but you know.
Well, that's why it's our job as foremen or superintendents to walk around and see with your tablet, looking at elevations, and that elevation doesn't look right. That's just 15 feet, and you look like you're at 11 feet. Because you can see, just like I can see, us three here, no different elevations without using a tape measure. And so that's what the purpose of a foreman is to do, is walk through, not sit on his desk, have a cup of coffee, or be on his phone. Walk around and see what your manpower is doing after you lay them out. My job is always to lay everybody out, so I don't want no fuck-ups. Excuse me. I should have said
that. You're good.
I don't want any mistakes, and I don't want nobody to make no mistakes. Whoever's going to work under me, I want us to be the badass crew. I don't care who they are. If they're green, I'll take the time to teach them. If they don't want to listen to me, well, then go screw yourself. Take your ass over there, take your tools, or go call up the office and let them know. I won't waste the time. I'll put my tools on and take your position and still do the layout and do the time cards and do the dailies and do whatever, order the material, get everything done. Don't matter to me. Run any heavy equipment. You know that. Everything.
So what, in your words or in your opinion, is the ideal candidate?
The ideal candidate for me nowadays is not somebody that has a license but doesn't have any knowledge about what's going on. I'd rather have a green dude and train him right out the gate. Just like if you get a brand new puppy dog or cat, train it not to piss or shit in the house, same concept. Take somebody green, teach him all the way up, like if he's your son, right, or daughter.
So how does that person show up on the job site, whomever it is, a guy or girl, they show up, they're on your crew. What should they have? What should their mindset be? How should they approach that first day with you?
The first day should be with common knowledge of having the basic tools, level, tape measure, hopefully a Sawzall, a hand drill, hopefully Milwaukee tools or DeWalt, right?
How often do these people come out with all that?
Quite a bit. And if they don't have it, you can ask my lady, my babe right here. I have about $10,000 worth of tools. So I have extra of everything.
You rent them out to them?
No. I just make sure that they go back to what I tell them. If you're going to borrow it, put it right back. Don't say you left it out. Your responsibility is to put it right back.
I lived that today and yesterday.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
Yeah. So to me, that's a big part of. So what I expect from them is to have basic tools. If they don't have anything else, go to my truck, bring my pack out, bring it upstairs, or put it in the elevator, or put it downstairs. Here's the locks. Get the tools out you need. I'll do the layout. Start getting everything cut. Start getting everything up. Basically, mutual respect. If I talk to you, I'm not going to talk down to you. Give me the same respect. Don't be an asshole, because I can be an asshole. And, basically, it's construction.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are going to let somebody know if you don't, hey, bud, be cool. Don't talk to me like that, right? You guys know that. And so that's what I expect.
Yeah, it seems like you're kind of a no BS guy when it comes
No,
to
I don't fuck around. I go.
mutual respect, especially. In general, how much respect is there on the job site between trades, between GCs and subcontractors?
I'll give you guys a great example. There was 3 different plumbing companies on the same job site I had to go to bail a job out. I had to leave Amazon, go to this job because one of the individuals got fired. And so I had to take his position concerning hydronics, domestic water. The other individual had to take care of cast iron and core holes and all the elevations for the clinical sinks. So when I came in, I was like, how many different plumbing companies? 3 different electrician companies, 3 different plumbing companies, and 3 different GCs. It was difficult.
It's a joint venture.
Sounds like a
It was a great experience for me, but I have to say something that all the trades actually got along. Everybody had mutual respect. No tools were stolen. And so that was kind of mind-boggling to me that didn't happen. And so
What do you think that is or was?
I have no idea. That was kind of weird to me. I figured that I'm not going to leave my tools here because another plumbing company is watching my tools because all my stuff's brand new. And so it didn't work out that way. Everything was okay. Everything worked out. Everybody worked together. Everybody corresponded. There was a few guys that have their tempers and they had their tattoos and they figured because they had their tattoos they can talk to another individual, and it didn't work out that way. But I mean, it's
how do you shut someone down that's not showing you the respect that you deserve? How do you shut it down on the job site, I should say?
I guess there's a limitation to everybody's morals and values concerning respect, and I had enough. And so there's a few times I had enough, and I handled it pretty properly, but I've learned that you got to walk away. That's very hard to do because everybody looks at you as a, you know what, right? But for me, being in the Department of Corrections for a very long time, 2 decades, coming out, changing my life, being a taxpayer and being responsible and trying to advance myself very quickly, which I did. It told me if I don't walk away, I can be right back in that place. And so whatever they think about me doesn't matter. But there's a lot of animosity. If you do walk away, you have to say your piece, or you can either come up and be the better person. It's not the better person. It's a more logical person to say, all right, check this out. This is the way we're going to handle it. So we can go back to work. We don't lose our job. If I can do that all my other time, but I think I can do that now. You know what I mean? I've been through enough where I'm almost 60 and I understand that I have to be that type of person now. I can't be, hey, let's go out to the parking lot. Let's drive out the job site. I can't be that person no more. Pretty much.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
One question that I had is, what would you tell a person who is having a hard time keeping the straight and narrow? Someone that's going in and out of the system, someone who didn't play their cards right or are a victim of their upbringing, what would you tell that individual?
If first of all, they would have to be scared straight. Scared straight to me is like, I looked at my situation as, okay, I have this time. I got to cut everybody loose out in society and focus on living in here. And once I was in there, I told myself, this is not what I want in life. And so when you get to that point, the majority of the guys that do over 2 decades, 3 decades, they don't go back to prison. It's a 90% reinsurance that they did evaluation on. The guys that get 2 to 3 years for drug charges and go right back and forth because it's not scared. Oh, I can do 2 years. I can do that. When you're doing decades, it either gives you the option to either you can live in here and die in here, or you can straighten out your life, go back to society, and make a difference. That's the hardest part of any individual that I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but guys with drug problems need to take a look at their children and say to them, I have to be better than my children. I have to correct myself in order to help my children. I can't help my children if I'm not on the right track. So they would have to correct themselves first in order to help other people. It's just like saying the old saying that I say that I learned from a lot of wise people, and that's very few that I found in prison system. But the wise saying is that in order for you to speak the truth, you have to be honest with yourself first.
Yeah, you have to look at the man in the mirror.
Yeah.
You can't lie to yourself.
No.
Shouldn't be able to.
All the things that I achieved in a short period of time is I have everything. I kept pushing, balls to the wall, working from 6:30 to 3 o'clock, from 3:30 to 1:30 in the morning, working Saturdays and Sundays. I did that for 34 days straight. I made quite a bit of money. I was tired, and I thought to myself, I can sleep when I die.
Yeah,
I can sleep when I'm done with this. But yeah, and the best part about that is when you achieve all that, you're able to go anywhere, buy anything you want. I mean, it's kind of great, right?
Yeah. Outside of the paycheck, what do you get from doing this kind of work?
Oh, if individuals know that you're good at what you do, they offer you a sum of money and they say, I need it done at this time. Then I'm going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to go do it. I'm going to put all the effort I can into it. Even if I only get 2 hours of sleep, but I'll get it done and I will beat the schedule.
Does that give you satisfaction at the end of the day that you accomplished something in the given time frame?
I think it's not a satisfaction. I think it's just my morals and values as a man. Being a man to keep your word. But like I said, if you like what you do and you're good at it and you look at something, you look at something, you know how long it's going to take you. But if you can beat that by putting the extra effort in there and making the less time that you get the project done, the more money you make. And so that's easy mathematics.
Right.
So in doing and making you a better craftsman, is there a tool that you have to have at every job that you go to, or your
tape measure?
Your 5 tools that you always have to have.
Tape measure, marker or pencil, and level. That's it. I can take off anywhere with a square.
Yeah, and that's being in a management position.
Yes, that's doing all the
layout.
To me, doing all the geometry you got to do all the geometry before everything else. And some clear spray paint, not spray painted right on the walls. But yeah, I mean, clear paint, pencil, marker, tape measure, level, or a square or a triangle. And I can take off, do all the geometry before the material gets there, have everything ready, get the chop saw. I use chop saws. Everybody uses cast iron cutters. Chop saws faster, cleaner, neater, no leaks. And Husky bands. You already know that.
Good.
At what point did you know that I guess, how did you learn that chop saws are the right way to go?
I started seeing that. So, fine example, a lot of guys that are green, a lot of guys tighten up the channel, the cast iron cutters too tight. So it'll cut it, but it'll crack the pipe down.
Doesn't it crack it and then leave ribs where your fitting sits?
Yes. And so it'll leave protruding holes to where everything can get by, but not by a husky. And the purpose of using the chop saw, a lot of people don't. Inhaling, you have to wear a mask or a guard. It's a fine cut. It's always a direct, right measurement, and everything falls into place as soon as you put it up in the air. But there's never any leaks. And so when I did Rose, I shouldn't say the hospital. I did Rose Hospital. I had like 7 guys in front of me. I'm doing copper. I did the cast iron with one other guy. I beat them. I didn't have no leaks anywhere. And he was amazed. He's like, fuck, dude, you don't got no leaks anywhere. I had all kinds of leaks on the copper. And I said, yeah, that's amazing, right? If I would have did the copper, it would have been a different story too. I've been doing it so long. It's real simple for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really simple.
Do you remember that water heater that we had that was elevated
Oh
in that
my
really small room?
Yeah, I remember that.
You had a lot of words for me.
Sounds fun.
Oh, I had to go behind. And then I had a young kid, I call him Mijo. He tied in to where I had Luke water. I could not find them. I was pissed. But for a week, I was looking for it. And I went through everything. I went up in the ceilings everywhere. I go to the water heater. I climb up there because he was the only one that could fit in there. He was real skinny, and I put him in the back. Well, he got tied into the wrong line. And so when I got up there, I seen it. I said, I found it. I called up the office. I said, don't worry. In 30 minutes, I'll have everything fixed. And I did.
Yeah, I was pressing pretty hard, and I jokingly, day 3, I remember I was like, man, Rudy, wouldn't that suck if it's in that closet?
He did too. Yeah. And I didn't pay. I was so mad. I said, leave me alone right now. And I'm walking all over the place trying to find it and get everything done, man. I was really mad.
What were you building?
It was that junior achievement building.
Gotcha.
There's just this really small, I want to say, I don't know, not even 6x6 closet.
Yeah.
We had an elevated water heater in there for janitor space underneath. Yeah, it was just one of their loops.
It was very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Got it done. Got everything done. I mean, I look at projects as I'm not going to go in there and not show. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to knock it out, man. I mean, I think it's fun to get up every day and then drive by the project. I did that one. I did that one. I did that one. Now I can't even count. I can't count within 8 years. I cannot.
Yeah, you said you fell in love with plumbing day one.
Running a rigid 300, man. First day.
What's your favorite thing these days about your job in plumbing?
I think building mechanical rooms is the most intriguing thing to me. I love after it's done, pictures are taken of it.
Just the
all my clean work. He's seen my soldering work. It's clean. I mean, my shit's perfect, man. My brazing's perfect.
You want it to look like a piece of art at the end of the day?
Yes, I want them to walk in and say, wow, this looks excellent.
Yep.
And that's basically what intrigues me the most out of our tradesmanship is that.
Can you walk us through step by step how you build out a mechanical room? From step 1, from this is your project, this is your set of plans, that first day, the build out, and then the completion.
Are you talking about the whole building?
Let's hold that thought, and we're gonna take a quick break. We'll do it when we come back.
All right, cool. So if I was the individual starting a project, the first thing I would do is take off on the material. Find out what heavy equipment, what hand tools, everything I need to send to the job site, toolboxes, get everything ready for all the guys. No more cords, so everything be battery operated.
You don't like rolling out a cord for your tools?
The only thing is chop saw.
You left
unless they have a battery operated one.
Did you leave that in the 80s or what?
Yeah, which is a great thing. Doing the takeoff, getting your tool rack out, getting everything on the job site, walking the job site, seeing everything proper, meeting everybody, all the GCs, going to the meeting, finding out what the schedule is, getting everything for your material for sections for each project so you don't overcrowd the job site. Start doing layout, set up my office, get everything ready to go. Basically, that's the beginning of what I'll do if I'm running a project.
What's your expectation from the general contractor?
My expectations is correspond, give me a schedule. The majority of the time, this is what always happens. I'm not talking about you guys, but I'm gonna give an example. So when you get to a project and all of a sudden you modify the job site, which you know I did, the schedule moves up. And so it's basically to save money for the GCs, everybody to make money, push everything as fast as possible. My main focus is to get caught up, get everything, and so I can reduce my manpower and save hours. Because everything's ran off of hours now for the cast iron, the domestic, the hydronics, and so you got to use your hours properly. And so that would be my main focus. And what I ask from the GC is not to modify the schedule, but it's always going to be modified, so you be prepared for that. And so, honestly, I would like them to always present a schedule and stay with it, but that doesn't happen.
How do you approach those conversations with GCs? Do you set the bar so that you know you can hit it
No.
and exceed it, or do you push the limit right
I
off
push
the
the
bat?
limit. I do my best to beat the schedule, and my job basically is I work for a company, but I actually work for the GC. So that's the way I look at it. That's the way that's the way any individual should look at it. If you got a guy that's contradicting and causing conflict because he can't meet the schedule, well, do your damn best to meet it. That's all.
Yeah, there's no games.
No, there's no damn games. You're a grown man. You say something, follow through with it. And if the GC has to modify the schedule and he wants to see if you're able to do it, well, fuck it. Try your best to get it done.
Mm.
And what if you see something on the schedule that's just flat out wrong? Do you chime in? Do you speak up?
I'm gonna address it. I'm gonna question it. I'm gonna ask questions why this is happening. Whatever the hypothetical is.
Because in our multifamily world, we more often than not, I mean, there's some guys that'll speak up and say, "Hey, that's not right. We need more time for this, or this is out of sequence," whatever the scenario is. But a lot of times, people just take that schedule and we don't hear anything, and then next thing you know, we have a miss on the schedule, and no one piped up, no one said until after the fact that, hey, this wasn't right.
Well, that's where I come back to the conversation where at Amazon where I caught a fitting that didn't correspond with the piping. The diameters are incorrect. So if you're able to catch that and say, hey, this is not corresponding with the agreement we set inside the meeting the day before. That's why drafting down notes, hate to say it, sometimes record inside the meeting. So you get a better grasp of what's going on, because it's too difficult for you to run manpower, do layout, do ordering material, have material, get your next package coming in, so on and so forth. You can't remember everything that's going on the job site.
Right.
And so it comes back to you as a foreman or a superintendent that, hey, you should have been paying attention to that. Now we're going to lose man hours. We're going to lose this. We're going to lose that. We're going to lose money. Every time that somebody sends you out on the job site, it's your job to get that job done ahead of schedule, not behind, not barely make it. You always got to look at being ahead of schedule. It puts you in a comfortable position. You know how stressful it can be if you're behind and everybody's up your ass telling you, hey, what's going on? Do you need more manpower out there? No, because you're killing all my hours. Well, the guys you got are no good. Well, you can't say that. I mean, you can say that, but that's not. I would rather go up to the dude and tell him, hey, bro, if you can't do this, let me know. I'll take care of business. I'll show you how to get it done.
And I think I already know the answer to this question, but it sounds like your method on approaching anything that you work on is to hit the ground hard right off the bat.
Right out the gate.
Because if you can gain a day, if you can gain a couple days, you can gain a week, kind of takes the pressure off. You don't want to be cramming at the very end.
The most important thing to me is the takeoff. Everything is done in the office, not even on the job site yet. The most important thing to me is the geometry. Get it done. Lay it out. If you don't got a guy that knows what he's doing, Get in there and do it yourself. And that's basically what I do. I'll jump in there and get it done myself first, foremost,
Well, it's
because I know it's going to be done right.
it's the foundation. That's
Exactly,
what gets you
because I'm
going.
doing the elevations, I'm doing the grade, I'm doing the elevations, I'm doing all the footage, I'm doing everything.
Mm.
And I'm making sure everything's going to be up there properly. So I don't run into anybody else, or there's no arguments or, hey, man, you put your stuff right in my way. Wow. I'm following CAD and I'm following blueprint. And so
Yeah.
that's me.
I think to rebuttal, or not to rebuttal, but to pair with going fast, trying to gain, hit the ground running. Rudy's heard me say this a bunch of times. You're only as fast as your slowest person. So having the mentality of everyone moving fast, or you need to be a little methodical. So the only success that I've seen in jobs is when everybody's firing on all cylinders and they do the upfront work so that we can fall back and help that one person that may need some help, some extra love.
See, that's very rare for GCs to say.
Mhm.
And I'm very honest about that. There's a lot of them that, to me now, the construction field is basically about suing. And so if you're not meeting your schedule, then I'm going to backcharge you and I'm going to backcharge you, and then I can take you to court and you're supposed to follow through. So this is where, if you're going to put a man in a position of authority for a big project that's concerning a lot of money, you better have the right individual there. You better have somebody that knows what the hell he's doing. He's going to come there. He's going to spend some time and look at everything and find flaws in CAD, elevations, ceiling heights, see if the framing's proper. There's a lot of framing that I caught that the room was too small. And there's a lot of things that you can catch that other people are not catching. And when you do that, it makes you look good, but then you make the other trade look like shit. But it's not basically that. It's finding a problem before it happens and resolving it.
Setting yourself up for success.
Exactly, pretty much. And so if you can do that every time, that means that you're on target. You're on top of your job. You want to get it done and you want to be ahead of schedule. If you don't, you go home, let me get my 8 hours in and go home and, hey, man, where's this stuff at? We don't even have no material. That's where things get backed up. So even if you are in a position of authority and you're running that job, you take that job home with you. You go to the computers, make sure that everything's, let me call up Ferguson, make sure everything's getting delivered, so on and so forth. You know, even if the driver gets lost, hey, you got GPS, but hey, I'm gonna find you and get you over here, get my material so I can get everything on load and get everything going.
So it sounds like you don't really have an off button.
No.
But you did say that, when you were doing those 34 days straight of 7
It
days
ran
a
me
week,
into the ground,
ran
but
into-
the reward was great because I was able to say, if any of my family members call me and they need anything, I'm there.
right.
You can also say that you know what tired feels like.
I know exactly what tired feels like.
How do you recover? How do you recover mentally and physically?
I think I do this every time now. So I didn't do it before. I would go to the next project. I would tell the company, I'm going to take a week off after I'm done with this project, after I get it complete. After I do the walkthrough on video, show them where all the gate valves are, show them how to turn the mechanical room off, shut off, walk through everything, get everything done. Okay, give me my week off. And then give me everything ready to go into the office, do the takeoff, start on the next project.
Sure, your company's more than happy to do that for you if you're knocking stuff out,
Yeah.
getting jobs done on time.
It was like that. Like I said, I'm taking some time off. You don't mind if I address anything? My lady, her name's Marie Rubio. She has stage 4 cancer right now. So I took some time off for her.
Sorry to hear that.
She's doing great. She came out here. The doctors are great. They're working with us. Everything's going good right now. So we're going to get her repaired, get her back on track. And then I'm going to go back to work after we get her operation done in January, hopefully. And then I'm going to go back to work. So right now I took some time off. I put some money away and this is what I'm going to do. This is what I want to get done right now. And so as soon as I'm ready, there's quite a bit of companies that are ready for me. They didn't know I was loose, and When I left the company, they actually called up these companies and had them call me immediately. And I was kind of surprised. And they said, well, what do you want? What position? And I was like, I got to take care of something before I go back to work. And so that's what.
Before we brush over that, please reach out and let me know if you need anything. Let us know.
I'll probably need a job.
Yeah.
I don't know yet, but we're going to do, we're going through the doctors and everything right now. So hopefully everything will be done in January of 2026. So,
Well, if you need a person to just talk to, yell at,
yeah.
reach
yeah,
out. If you need a resource or a reference,
Yeah,
reach out.
without no doubt. Without no doubt. I appreciate that. Yeah. I got things lined up. So whoever gets a Broncos stadium, that's where I want to go. I want to work on that. I think it'll probably be a 5-6 year project, and I want to be a part of that. If not, I'll do whatever. It don't matter. As long as the money's good and I give them my word, I'll be done ahead of schedule every time.
Yeah, just with with that knowledge, I mean, how quickly did your priorities change to?
I didn't look at it that way. I looked at what was best for Marie.
Yep.
Have you guys been able to travel, spend some much needed time with each other?
Yeah, we I baby her. She gets babied. Take her shopping. I make her understand and know that I'm here for her. Well, when she's on her medication, she's got to have my help. It's difficult for her to walk and stuff. So that's why I said I'm going to get everything done, and I give her my word, and we're going to get everything done. Just like I say when I give my word to the job site. As soon as I'm done with her, then we'll go buy a big house, and I'll go back to work. I'm ready to rock and roll. I am.
So Broncos Stadium is what you're gunning for.
I'm gunning for that, but I'll take anything on. I'm not picky. As long as the money's right, I'll knock it out of the park, whoever's looking.
Is that a dream job for you? The Broncos
No, it's
Stadium?
actually just if it's a project that big, there's a lot of big piping. There's a lot of work in there that's going to keep me occupied for quite a bit. And so that's what I'm looking for. I'm gunning for it. Yeah, without no doubt.
What kind of crew would you need to do a job like that?
Depending if I'm going to be a pipe fitter on that job or a plumber.
Let's entertain the idea of both.
Entertaining the idea of both, I wouldn't want anybody with a lot of experience. I want somebody that's going to need common knowledge and ask questions, and so I can be right on top of it. Because the way I look at it, if you're going to ask me questions, I know we're not going to make any mistakes. Does that make sense?
Mm.
If I leave somebody there and he's being contradicting and conflicting, saying, oh, no, I'm going to do it this way. This is the way I was taught. No, you're on my job site. We're going to do it this way. If you don't mind. I would have to say it that way because H&R. And so, am I correct?
Yeah, throw that in there.
Yeah, so I would say if I had individuals with 2 to 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, I would take them under my wing and teach them the best way possible. He knows I know my shit to the T, exactly to the T. And so I would teach him really great. I would make him fast. I would give him a lot of knowledge. I would show him all the shortcuts, and then I would take off on it. So we wouldn't make no mistakes. My crew would be ahead of everybody else where they had to pull my crew off to go help another. That's what I would like. That's entertaining it enough?
Yeah. That's entertaining it enough. Do you have any hints of who may get that or want to do that?
Whoa, man, I got a couple of them, yeah.
Okay. You don't have to disclose. You don't.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys know.
We can bleep it out.
I'm thinking, so they need pipe fitters right now because they're short of manpower. You already know this. Our trades is short. If I would want to go to work right now, I'm pretty sure I can get a job by you guys talking to somebody. But Arcade Mechanical said they'll wait for me until I have Marie's medical issues done.
Mm.
And so that's where everything's at.
So that's a good segue into a portion of our mission. What do you think we need to do as an old timer in the industry, someone who's passionate about blue collar, the work, the trades? How can we make the trades more appealing? How can we make construction fun again?
You would have to, the schooling is on the job site. Everybody knows this, that the man hours, 6,500 hours for a journeyman, 8,500 hours for a master. They're learning on the job. They have schooling that these guys have to do at night. To me, the younger generation is more into tablets, iPad, video games. Well, I guess you would have to make a video game in plumbing or pipe fitting or construction or framing and have him build something on there. He'd look at his face. He's like, what the heck? That's a good idea, right?
No, we're laughing because
You just brought that up to
I had to update my computer today, and when it fired up, it like pulled up like the Xbox thing on my computer, and we were like scrolling through it for a second, and one of the games was, what was it called?
How to dig a hole.
How to dig a hole. And the game is you just stand there and dig a hole. And it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. That's why we're laughing.
I just think that the majority of the younger generation is into video games and not into educating themselves into the trade. And so the only way, the time that they get into the trade and the effort, as far as my generation, we didn't have video games or nothing like that. So my thing was to go home and not make any mistakes. So I would think everything through by the time I got there. When I started learning the fittings, I had to memorize the fittings. So I'm running, hey, go get me a 45, go get me a 6-bend. Well, they're both the same. Just diameters are just a little bit off. And so they would do it on purpose. Bob Spillman used to, go get me a 45. Oh, wait a minute. Give me a 6-bend too. Well, they're both similar. And so he would use different names for the same fitting and stuff like that. And 45s, 22s, there's different names for everything. And so that was one big thing for me to go home and memorize all that stuff so I wouldn't make any mistakes. And so, in my field, there's so many different types of piping: polyurethane, PVC, ABS, cast iron, Schedule 40, Schedule 80. I can go on PEX, copper type L, type K, type M, type, you know what I mean? It just goes on and on.
Yeah, we've talked about this in the past. Number one, there's really just not that much exposure to high school age kids these days, or college age kids. We all know that. I mean, working in the field in construction is way better than working in like retail or a restaurant or, customer service. I think all three of us can agree on that.
Yeah.
I worked in restaurants when I was a teenager and early 20s, and I didn't even know that, I could go out and be a laborer for a plumbing company during the summer. Or, there's plenty of jobs available, and just get exposure to the industry.
I see your concept. So you're saying, how can I reach out to the younger generation concerning high school? My suggestion to that would be flyers. The opportunities would be the pay would be intriguing to them. Then you would have to address, you can't lie to them and say you would have to go to school at night, work during the day, but the benefits after 6,500 hours, which would be 4 years, is this amount of money. And the scale will jump up to $15 more than what they're making. And so, but there's a lot of people that can't handle the cold. There's a lot of people that can't handle the heat. There's a lot of people that don't like to get dirty. And so them are all my categories that I love. So
I think a lot of people think they don't like to get dirty, but once you get into it and you experience it, it's fun.
Exactly fun.
And you're right. The paycheck,
the pay is what's going to count there.
You can come bottom of the totem pole and make decent money, and then once you hit certain levels, certain check marks, the pay is exponential. And then you get to your level where you're basically telling people your price, right?
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, shit. What was I gonna say? I lost it. Lost my train of thought again.
I know you guys are tired. You guys worked all day today. Didn't
Yeah, a little tired. It's
You?
been a
man.
week.
If you guys,
No.
if you're done, I mean,
No, not in the slightest bit.
No, we got a little
Yeah.
little more in us.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah, what was I can cut all this out, by the way. I'm not gonna leave this in there.
yeah, take the F words out. Leave Marie in
No,
there.
I'm gonna increase the volume on the F words, and we're gonna put it in bold.
There you go.
It's unfiltered, uncut. It's just raw.
But that's kind of our mission with doing this. A lot of younger teenagers and people in their 20s, they listen to podcasts. And
so let me ask you something. How bad is it right now in our trades? How much manpower are we missing? Quite a bit.
It's bad. I mean, speaking to
So you're telling me I can get exactly what I want?
pretty much. I mean, yeah.
Shouldn't have told him now.
For every 5 tradesmen retiring, there's only 2 coming in to replace them.
I should have been retired already, but I've only been out in the field for 8 years, and I accomplished a lot.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean,
so I'm ready to rock and roll as soon as me and Marie are done
Yep.
with all the medical issues that she
Right.
has and get everything corrected. And she already knows that I'll be working 12 to 16-hour days. I don't care. I got to fill everything back up again. And so I'm ready to invest all my time with her.
that's very important. That's where you need to be.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunately becoming more common, and I mean, cancer's touched my life. It's touched Cody's life. I mean,
Wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, we know people. I speaking for myself, I know people that have gone through cancer treatment, and someone close to me was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer earlier this year as well. So yeah, it's tough. And I feel for you guys.
Appreciate that.
And I hope you can be there, and get through all this.
We will. I'm thinking positive.
Yep.
I'm not.
You will.
There's no negative in my thought process.
Yep.
Make sure you leave all this in here.
Oh, for sure. Yep.
'Cause I'm going to have her family listen to this.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, man. I'll be ready to rock and roll after this. I appreciate you guys taking the time in for you to mention me. That's very honorable. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Of course. It's a testament to who you are as a person and how you carry yourself every day. So I appreciate meeting you and getting to know you.
Yeah.
But I wanted to answer your question. I did a quick and dirty Google search.
Okay.
The skilled trades workforce in the U.S. involves millions, but faces a significant aging trend. Over 40% are over 45, and a shortage of young entrants under 9% between ages 19 to 24, leading to massive demand and job growth. Projected 4 to 60% growth for roles like electricians, plumbers, and wind techs. And then it goes on talking about age issues, generational differences, and then retirement gap. So it's pretty high demand. We need people. We are the backbone of the industry, and
American made.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I can still pass for 40, I think. At 60.
There's just serious labor scarcity.
so.
Serious labor scarcity. The opportunity is that there's no ceiling on the opportunity.
I think I got another 10 or 15 years left in me. I can go still. I know I'm going to have to, but I'm ready.
Yeah. Just to kind of wrap things up, do you just have a general message you'd like to throw out to our listeners, whether it's, the young guys thinking about entering the trades, if it's people you've worked with, if it's mentors you've had, if it's friends and family, whatever you want to say. We just want to give you the opportunity.
I think everybody should focus on what's best for the United States. working and building for this place is a great honor. Like I said, my father fought 2 wars, so I'll do whatever it takes to help build. I hope the younger generation realizes and understands that being a part of this country is a great, great honor. Help build it.
It's a privilege.
Get out there.
Yeah, it's a privilege.
Exactly, it is a privilege. That's all I have to say about that. I mean, if there is people that really do listen to all this, yeah, man, education and being a tradesman in the United States is very valuable. Very valuable. I mean, can't go wrong. The money's there. You just got to educate yourself and keep pushing.
Do you have do you have the same advice or a secondary piece of advice for somebody who's just kind of feeling like they're down in the dumps, made the wrong decision, they're trying to get rehabilitated? How do you stay focused when you're in that hard mindset?
There's different kinds of rock bottom. To me, rock bottom is for different categories of people. If you have family that's going to back you and be there for you, sometimes they shouldn't do that because it makes it easier on that individual to go back to that rock bottom. Me personally, I would say you have to be a little bit hard on somebody in order for them to see themselves. Like you said earlier, sometimes you got to take a look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, this is incorrect. I'm not honest with myself. I'm lying to everybody. So I got to be honest with myself so I can speak the truth to everybody around me.
It's all very, very, very true. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you guys for letting me come here.
Yeah, thanks.
It was nice to meet you, Rudy.
Thanks for the wisdom.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm gonna take a quick photo. We do a selfie. If you guys want to squeeze in.